How's it going? Wooden Spoon SuperCoach here. Trials are done and dusted. Finally, we've got Vegas coming up. It's a very exciting time. Everyone's tearing their teams apart. There's so many changes. It's just relentless at the moment, and we will get to all of that shortly. But firstly, the prize pool has gone up $19.45. That's more like it. Huge.
Let's go.
We had a bloke back. I've got the bloody leaderboard here. May as well use it. Bruce Nicholson has rocketed up into first place for backing the Tigers. FPL for life. I can't remember what everyone bet, but there was like someone backed Para, someone backed the Tigers. There was a couple of try scorers in there. There's one dude who picked a try scorer for every team of the round, and he made about 70 cents. It just goes to show if you do heaps of legs, it gets divided down into about 10 cents, and you pretty much need all of them to win for it to be worth anything. So keep that in mind moving forward. But yeah, much better this week. $19. Prize pool's gone up by what, $30-something, and we haven't even got to the regular season yet. So love to see it. I'm joined by Mac today. How you going, bro?
Bro, I'm so good. Titans game was amazing in person. So I had a great weekend. What about you, man? Did you have a good weekend?
I didn't watch a whole lot of footy, to be honest. I was very, very busy. But I did watch the Tigers game. Oh my God, Macassini. All the shit I said about, he's a bit risky. Nah, fuck that. Get him in. Everyone get him in. Do not miss out on Macassini. He is an absolute tank.
The moment he ran over the top of Dylan Edwards, I grabbed my phone and I was like, he's in my team.
Yeah, God. And he was really good last week as well from memory. So, yeah. And also Gerard Skelton, I believe, is under a little bit of an injury cloud. I heard something about him playing with the training with the 2 squad at the Tigers instead of the 1 squad, generally meaning he's not really in favour to make that starting team. So all signs point to Macassini. So yeah, green lights.
Rightfully so. You can't do any more than he did in the trials. Seriously.
Yeah.
If that doesn't get you a spot. Yeah, if that doesn't get you a spot in the team, bro, nobody is ever getting a spot in the team.
If he doesn't get a spot in the Tigers team, he'll get a spot in another team.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You got to keep those boys happy when they perform like that.
I got up at 5 o'clock to watch the Broncos game. I thought it was relevant for some SuperCoach players specifically. Walsh was good. I saw enough that if you had him in your team, then you're okay with that. That's fine. I didn't see enough to say get him in instantly, like we were just saying with Macassini. But hold him if you got him. He's looking good. He looks like he's confident and he's running the ball really strong and passing at will. And yeah, he's on fire. Personally, Carrigan and Haas, 80 minutes each. They basically look like 80-minute tackle and run machines. So, not going to lie, Carrigan's in my team. And yeah, honestly, can't argue with having anyone from their back 5. Like, seriously, you could grab either center, either winger. There's value there. I'm not doing that per se, but yeah, look, the Broncos have some very relevant players for sure. Dolphins, Warriors. Did you catch any of that one?
I think I caught the start of it. I'll be honest. A lot of the games, I have a really bad habit of watching it in bed with the TV on the wall. I need to sit at my desk to watch it because I do just eventually fall asleep. It's so bad. But
no, that's all right.
I'll move us over to the browser so that I can actually have a look. Because I remember that because someone had a bet for the Warriors to win, and I was kind of riding that.
Yep.
So what, did the Dolphins come back late? It looks like they did.
Yeah, bro. This was awesome comeback by the Dolphins. Just classic Queensland style. Didn't die. And yeah, anyway, look, quick notes though, because there's plenty of review videos and content out there, folks. You can go check that out wherever. But look, for SuperCoach stuff, Fuller was great, but coach is saying the Hammers fall back. So we're back off the Trey train. Sorry, Jake, you probably have to rename your team again. He might be relevant at some point this year, but not right now. Flegler looks good. He was just straight into impact. He looked really keen to be involved with the game. So much so that I actually think he's going to have quite a big game against the Rabbitohs in week 1. He looks pumped up. He's ready to go. So yeah, look, Flegler, I like him more than Paseka at this point as far as SuperCoach and pricing and stuff goes. So Cobbo also looks great. And I personally suspect it seems like Averillo might be on the way out. I think when Jack Bostock comes back, I think they put him back on the wing outside Herbie and move Cobbo to right center where he played a lot of time in these trials. So yeah, I think Cobbo is going to be the winger outside Herbie to kick things off, and then eventually he's going to move on to the center on the other side. So that's just my vibe on that one. Cobbo is in my team. Warriors, look, Wade Egan was really good. I could get behind somebody taking Wade Egan. Just have to look out for his injuries. But I just have no idea what their team is actually going to be like. They do have a relevant cheapie in Laban. But again, like I just need to see the team lists and see who's going to get what minutes and where and that kind of thing. Aaron Clark's obviously a gun that you could start with if you wanted to, or make your way towards at some point. But yeah, Wade Egan was electric. So really good stuff there from the Warriors. The Tigers, Panthers. You said it. Macassini's given off the Lomu vibes, man. Seriously. I decided I'm not going to wait till week 4 to grab him in. I am just getting him straight away. That's
Yep.
my VC loop option for this week as well. So
Oh, nice.
if
That's a good point.
yeah, so look, the round 1 buy, not a bad thing there. Just get him. Macassini is an absolute beast. Also, Taylor May, he just looks elite. He's ready to go. He was just give him early ball. He'll make something happen, create a little bit of space for Macassini. Macassini doesn't need any space anyway. He just runs over the top of 3 people to run 40 meters and score a try. Finishing off with running over the top of Dylan Edwards. Do we need to say it again?
God, he's
Panthers.
just so good.
Panthers look good still when they had their guys out there. I can't argue though with getting anyone in there 2 to 5. So either winger, either center. That's where they're going to score their points. And Yo is like Carrigan, tackling machine. He's going to play 80 minutes. Like, could definitely get behind that. I'm personally going to be fading Cleary though. I've said that a couple of times. Obviously, it makes sense if heaps of people are going to go there. I'm going to play the no Cleary card all year, and I just think he's going to be too up and down and in and out of the team. So yeah, we'll see how we go with that. I just think I'm going to save trades.
Just quickly on Isaiah Yo, I think he is one of the forwards that is going to benefit most from the new stat change. He's got a lot of third man in tackles that he'll start to get points for now. So he is, I think he was in my team, and then I may have gotten rid of him to try and fund drink water after seeing the teams list, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Yo, definitely. Great shout. I could see lots of people doing it. Everybody get on Yo and leave Carrigan for me as a pod. I would really appreciate that. Sharks vs Raiders. Look, yeah, it's a baby Raiders. Ricky hates trials, but the Sharks were good, man. They honestly, the chemistry is looking good. Trindle and Hines both really involved. There is some chat about maybe they're stealing points from each other from a Supercoach perspective, but I still think that Hines is going to be like a halfback, top 3 halfback for the year. Definitely at least top 5. I actually saw a little bit of pre-game chat where he's gained some weight and he's looking to run more, which is the thing that he had sort of taken away from his game in previous years where he was elite at Supercoach. So like that to me says that he's in for more running this year, and that's always going to be good from your halfback. So plus he does great kicking and getting involved on both sides of the field. So I personally think that Hines is a really good option. I don't know why people are off him.
He's one of those guys as well that just seems to get points for doing nothing. Like so many times last year, I'll be kind of actively keeping an eye on him and then look at the score and be like, what did he do? How? Like he just, every single way you can get points, he manages to always be doing one of them. And even if he doesn't look that involved, even last year, he was doing a lot more in defense and tackling more, and that translates to Supercoach points. So yeah, I agree. I think Hines is still very relevant for Supercoach.
Awesome. Glad we're on the same page there. People just run at him. That's why they think he's the weak spot. They spot him up in the line, and then he just makes 30 tackles a game. Like he had the most out of any halfback. So he's like, okay, I'll just get a bit bigger, make sure I can handle those edge back rowers running at me. Yeah, look, Hines is looking good. I also think their right side is looking really good. So Nikora, Ramian, I do think Katoa came out of it with a groin injury or something, so that's maybe going to slow that right edge down. But the right edge of the Sharks was looking pretty hot. Again, everyone get Ramian and leave Iro for me as the pod, please.
I don't know if Iro's going to be a pod.
No, he won't be.
He's like 20%,
but he was a bit.
Isn't
he was a bit cold on that left side. So
yeah.
But I'm personally, I'm not worried.
There was a bit of chat about are the Sharks going to favor that other side since Ronnie's out? And are they going to trust the more experienced guys to score their points. I don't know. I feel like
Well,
most people have cooled off on Stone Street anyway, so it's more of a conversation around Iro.
Yeah, Iro on the left is pretty much the only spot. But yeah, Ramian a bit cheaper, and they were going right a lot. But if Katoa didn't get injured, then I'd say that was actually a really good play, and Ramian's really strong option. But I still think he is a good option,
Yeah.
much cheaper than Iro. Yeah. On the Raiders side, basically the only note I have is this is just reps for Owen Paddy.
Yeah.
Like, that's all that's happening here. And you can't really take away they didn't play Sanders. Like, there's nothing to look for.
Yeah.
Roosters versus the Eels. Geez, this was actually such a great game. You got to go back and watch this game.
Yeah. I've said that a
Uh,
few weeks now. I actually need to go back and watch a few of these. There should be like a KO maxi that just shows all the best moments from the trials. That'd be sick.
that's not a bad shout, but you could also just go watch the minis for each one. They only go for like 10 minutes, and that's a good way to recap some stuff and see the key moments. Yeah, I love KO for that. But yeah, so basically on the Roosters, Sam Walker's the head chef. Sam Walker confirmed head chef. Everyone's doing what he wants. He's getting the ball when he wants. Teddy looks like he'll be strong. He'll be involved. He is going to be looking for runs, looking for support plays. And DCE is going to be a solid second fiddle that steps up when needed. If a bit of chaos ensues, or if someone goes down, or if they need a clutch play out of nowhere, I think that DCE is going to be good. But I wouldn't put him in my super coach team because he's clearly second fiddle. But look, after this one, Sam Walker, straight in my team. He's so exciting.
Yeah. 100%.
I downgraded from Hines, who I just wrapped. And it's because I think Sam Walker is going to go up in value, whereas Hines will go up a little bit, but not as much as Sam Walker.
Yeah.
And I think he had a ridiculous run of try assists towards the end of last year where he gained up and he nearly got into the top try assists, but he only played half the season. Like, it was ridiculous. So yeah, Sam Walker, really
I did
exciting.
have him for a good solid period last year, and he's just got this vibe about him where I don't know if this is just me, but I never really expected him. Each time he was in my team and he ran out on the field, I was like, okay, he can do a job, but you never really expect that ceiling. I don't know if that's just me. And then he just does it repetitively. And there's no reason he can't do it even more this year. The team is now centered around him. Yeah, God, it's at least I can focus on him and just ignore Cherry Evans in the tricolours and throwing up in my own mouth. Maybe that's why I didn't watch it. I'm just trying to avoid that for as long as I can. But yeah, I've got him in my team as well.
Oh, did you? You went put him straight in? Yeah,
he's always been in there. He's been in there for a long time now.
Good play. He scored something like 110 Supercoach points before he went off. He kicks goals. And do you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the kid at school that's just better than everybody else on the field. You know what I mean? He can just do what he wants. And then Cherry Evans is the old guy, the older kid that's playing with the little kids, so he can just walk around. Looks like he's got infinite time, can just do what he wants as well. Yeah, it was so good. Anyway, they'll be great. On the Eels side, Hopgood is good. Can't argue with Hopgood. Also Jack Williams and DeBellin, both solid picks. I'm just not sure if any of them are going to get like price changes or anything like that. So, maybe Hopgood can see some form come back from earlier years, but like realistically, if you're getting any of those guys, you're probably getting what you pay for, maybe a little bit of a bump, but they can be a good rock in your team if you need that sort of mid-price rock. And then, Pezzett will be solid as well. You could probably play him if you had to in a pinch, like for buys and stuff like that, unless something changes, though. I think that most of their attack is probably going to go through Iongi, who is silky. That face ball was a joke. Anyway, Iongi, silky. I'm seriously tempted. I actually was playing around with having Drinky and Iongi for a moment there. But I think I'll wait and see still what I'm going to do with the next second gun fullback. Probably going to fade Moses. Epic player, but unlike Hines and JC, he just does not accumulate Supercoach points.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's a bit of a bummer.
Circling back to Iongi quickly, there may be a bit of drama around there. There's a photo going around of him rolling a joint. Just footy players, stop filming yourself doing drugs, you fucking idiots. Holy shit. How many times does it have to happen? Oh
Uh,
god, I really hope nothing comes from it because there's really nothing in it. But for fuck's sake, just put the camera away, bro. So
yeah,
frustrating.
yeah. I'm with you there. So that's another reason actually why I took him out, because I was like, oh, he's not focused right now. You know what I mean? He's dealing with
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff on the
He's watching
side. Like if he
cartoons and eating Doritos.
no, he's going into the NRL to like appeal his case to them instead of being
Yeah,
at
yeah,
training. So yeah, but I'm tempted because he is looking good.
yeah. Good
Bit of a
pod
pod
too.
fullback play, to be honest. Yeah, I've also got some notes here that Russell and Samrani are just fired up. Like I don't know what it is about those two dudes, but they are fired up. Like Riles has them boys ready to go. So. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Russell and Jordan Samrani become very relevant at some point this year. Adokar as well. He's looking good as always. So there's a few little pod plays in the backs there
Mm,
at the Eels, definitely, and then a few rocks in the forwards if you want to go that way.
yeah. It's just tricky with like we've all got probably 3 to 4 cheapies locked in, and the meta this year seems to be going those like big primo center wings. So it's like I really am not happy that I had to get rid of Dan Tupou. I loved him as my pod in the center wings, but there's just too many options that I can't turn down.
Mm.
Maybe I'll find a way, but or like maybe an injury comes along and kind of makes the decision for me. But yeah, I'm finding it a bit difficult to go too far away from the crowd in center wing, particularly. It
Yeah,
seems to just pick itself at the moment.
a little bit. Yeah, there's some variety in which gun you go for, but you need essentially at least two or three guns. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, the Storm versus the Titans. Jesus was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, had peak seats. I've also come home and rewatched the replay just to make sure I was catching a couple of names. But look, on the Storm side of things, Munster and Grant, both season keepers, you could start with like no problems from either of them. They both look good. Um, I'll be honest, I think Munster's missing a few more tackles in the last, back half of last year
Mm,
and the start of this year. I think he's missing a few more tackles than he'd like. But yeah, otherwise they're looking good. Munster and Grant. Farlongo looks great. They obviously got some trick plays, in the book, ready to go,
that's
that are
good.
going to work for him. So yeah, Farlongo looks really good. He did go off with a little bit of a niggle. I don't know if that got mentioned at all on the broadcast, but I actually saw that when I was there from the stands. He
Interesting.
actually, he sort of like hopped and limped off a bit. Um, so like I'm sure it was minor, but yeah, I'm just not 100% sold because of that. But look,
God,
to be honest,
surely
he's
we
still
can't lose Farlongo and Trey Fuller in 1 week.
no,
Like,
he's still in my team. I think he'll be there,
okay.
but it was just a little bit concerning because he is one of those players that can pick up injury and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a trial, so I think he just went off to manage it rather than
Yeah.
aggravate it any further or something. But yeah, he did look great. Look, I think the Slarty was on the left covering Blore, right? And it turns out Blore is recovering from larynx surgery. If people didn't realize that. But he also had an off-field matter, and there's a bit
Yes.
of he might be a bit out of favor at the Storm.
Yeah, I've
So I'm
heard
not
storms off
sure.
him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Blore is going to be around at all. So look, maybe we get Lasardi on the left, Joe Chan on the right, Alec McDonald is at lock until Liero comes back, and they're both options. So Lasardi and Chan, both options in from what I could see.
I've actually
Just
gone
not.
away from both of them just because of the question marks.
Yeah.
I feel like there's enough variety in these cheap value guys where you can field a reserves tab full of them and not have any question marks. Just I don't know, like there is a good option there potentially too. Um,
Mm.
but there is just that little bit of risk and it's kind of easy to avoid. So that's just how I'm doing it. I can't argue against anyone who puts either of them in pending teams
Hmm.
lists.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just can't really be bothered to think about it, to be honest.
Yeah, because the real question I think is, I think they're both going to start. They will both at least start for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe they've both got those edges in, and it's just Alec McDonald fills in at lock for until the era gets back. But my question is, who plays the bigger minutes? And I've just got this vibe that look, Joe Chan to me looked looked hungry on the field,
Mm.
and that was just my eye test. He just looked hungry on the field, and also I have a feeling that the Storm put their number one second rower on that right side running off Hughes and protecting Hughes there. So I think because he could have played on the left. They could have put him on either side. So I think Joe Chan earning the right spot is the sign that he is the leader of the race, and that he might be the one that plays the bigger minutes.
Hmm.
But that's all just vibes from me being there and watching. I have honestly no idea. But he was the one that was on my mind from last year that would get the spot. Obviously, Lasardi got to go at the end of last season. But look, I thought Chan should have got first pick at it, and it looks like maybe he has. At the moment, I've just got one in my team, and I've gone with Chan, the more expensive
Yeah.
one. But yeah, I'll be looking at the team lists, and depending on what happens, maybe I will switch him to Lasardi. Maybe I'll go another direction.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll end up with a second row full of Titans because
That's what mine's looking like at the moment. It's kind of scary. I've got
that's why I
I've
haven't
got
done it.
three.
That's why I still have a Storm second row in there. I've still got Joe Jan because otherwise there's too many Titans. You could definitely have Paxton and Cooper by. Tino and Fermor were great. Like Fermor, I think Fermor is going seriously under the radar to
Yeah.
start the year as like a relatively cheap second row that's probably going to play like 80 minutes. He's running off Brimo, who looks like he's on fire. He's crawling along the ground when there's no one on him, trying to
Yeah.
scrape
Yeah.
every meter out of it. He's scored tries. Like he looks hungry, and he looks like he's stoked to be the big dog. So yeah, Fermor, he's in for a big season. Tino is going to be great. He's probably going to get that jewel. Keeney was electric. Like he might not have scored that much, but he was definitely a threat every time he had the ball. And that's just classic Kinney. Like that's never going
Yeah.
away. So, if he has a quiet week, he'll probably come out and do 150 the week after. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised.
And also, if he
Cooper,
has a quiet week, he has a quiet week for everybody. So like,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, such a good point. Everyone has him, so like
Yeah.
you can't lose. Cooper By looks really good. I just want to see if they give him a minute increase. Like if they start him at 13, which I think is on the cards for at least some point throughout the season this year. If they start Cooper By at 13, like yeah, he is a beast. I'm really excited to see what he can do this year. I'm tempted to start him instead of Paxton.
Mm.
Just with Patson having 2 head knocks in 2 games, I'm just not 100% sure how he's going to go. We haven't seen what his minutes are going to be like. I absolutely love that he threw a little grubber kick in. Like
Oh
that's
yeah, I did
elite.
say that. Yeah.
That's elite second row stuff right there.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Hudson Young at the end of last year. Like I love that, and it's super confident. He can get the attacking stat. He's obviously like a skilled player. I just am not 100% sure he's going to be able to stay on the field because we've seen him play twice and he's gone off with 2 head knocks. So
Yeah.
there's not a good strike rate. So part of me wants to just put Cooper By there and just play like the long slow burn
Yeah.
potentially. But if I'm doing that and Patson's playing 80 minutes for the first 3 weeks, then I'm missing the train. So
So
at
I
the moment,
have both of them at the moment, Patson and
yeah,
Bai, and something that's just come into my head now. This is like very early to be talking about Origin, but more than likely Tino's going to go off. So you would
yep,
imagine both of those guys kind of plug the hole, and
yep,
they're going to be really good Origin cover. So if sure they're going to make money and they're going to make money a lot sooner than Origin's going to come into the conversation, but if you just hold on to them, that could be a couple of trades saved and Origin cover. I'm definitely getting ahead of myself here, but that just came to mind, and I felt like I needed to share that because saving
yeah.
trades around Origin is a very, very important thing to do.
I think if you don't have Tino, then you could run both the GPs second rows from the Titans. Yeah,
Yeah,
you could run Patson and Bai on your bench if you don't have Tino. But if you have Tino as well, or if you have Bo Fermor like me, then you've got 3, and it just seems a bit much. So
yeah,
there's something that just doesn't sit right about that. So yeah, definitely good watch there. Also, yeah, Feymani, the winger, he does look like a solid cheapy option that you could even play in a pinch. At the moment, I've actually got him in my CTW4, and if I need to VC loop, Macassini will go in and he'll drop out. But if in a pinch up against the Sharks, he could get a try or two. He has good base, so Feymani, I'm happy with. Also, I just want to shout out Jojo Fafita. Looks like he's in for a big year. Like he was unreal in the All Stars game, and he was unreal in this game against the Storm as well. He just is fired up.
mm.
So yeah, Jojo Fafita could be like a sneaky option at some point. I think he could definitely excel, especially if he can get a pass on every now and then. But his defense is unreal.
There's part of me that's like, it started off as ironic, but now there's a genuine part of me that wants Jalen DeGroot to become relevant because he's been
He was
so
great.
good.
He was so good. At that point, they were playing the reserve grade Storm, though. I
Yeah,
do. So you
but
know you
he's
gotta
looked
do what you
so
can.
involved,
And
and
and to be fair, those moments were actually created by other players that we've mentioned, Cooper by,
yeah,
and then one that's a sneaky shout for some point this year. I'm not sure when, if or when, but Arama Howe, right? He had some really good moments. He ran an epic line for his try, right? He took Paxton's spot when Paxton went off, right? He ran a really good line for his try, and then he ran another great line and got an offload, which set up one of the De Groot tries. Arama Howe, he's seriously one to watch. If he comes in, he'll be bottom dollar. Basically I put in my notes here that he did things that I doubt Paxton would do. Right now, he didn't put in a little grubber kick to the in goal either,
yeah.
but
But he's a forward that he can be
yeah,
forgiven for that.
and Paxton did do that, so they've got strengths over each other. But Arama Howe, I think he's a watch this year for sure.
I really
So
like
yeah,
that name too. That rolls off the tongue really nice.
yeah, it's
Aramau. Love it.
so yeah, way too many notes from the Titans game, but I was there and like all these guys were
They're
money.
very
JC
relevant
and
this year.
AJ. Yeah, JC and AJ are both great options as well. Like I could get behind, podding Hines and going JC. Like that's great. I could see it. I could get behind saving a bit of coin on Munster and going for AJ. Like I think like to your point before, AJ is probably not going to play State of Origin, even though he's
Yeah.
now eligible again. He probably won't, right? Unless there's an injury to Munster. And then
Yes.
they bring in the AJ, right? He reminds me of Munster. He's a bit unorthodox for a six, you know. He's got a strong running game and stuff. So I seriously think that JC and AJ are both really good options in the halves that aren't highly owned. JC is getting up there, but yeah, look, they were great. So the Titans look awesome. They really do. So yeah.
Just
You got
one last
anything else on that
point.
one?
Yes,
Yep.
just one last point on the Titans. You might have seen me flick over here just before.
Yeah.
I was just checking when the Titans buy is, and I understand the crop here looks a bit shit, but their first buy is round 8. So
Okay.
on the point of not wanting to have too many of them in the second row forward, I currently have Tino, Patson, and buy.
Hmm.
Realistically, it's not going to become a problem until round 8, and I'd like to think one of those two cheaper guys will have topped out by that point, and you can move one of them on, and then keep the other guy that maybe looks like he'd be the better Origin cover spot. So
That's a great point.
if anyone who wants that spreadsheet, it's quite helpful. It's in the description of every single video. So yeah, go have a look at
Nice one.
that if it's something that interests you.
Good stuff, bro. A lot of work went into that spreadsheet. And yeah, that buy there at round 8, that actually does make that 3 Titans in the 2RF position viable, especially
Yeah.
because Tino is probably likely to get that duel with the front row as well.
Yes. 100%.
Souths versus Manly. Tell me you watched
Yes.
this one. Tell me you watched your own team.
Yeah, I
Let's
did.
go. What do you got for us? What do you got?
Honestly, I'm not that concerned about it. We were missing, a handful of our best players. No Turbo, no Jakey, no Ben, no Olakwatu. Joey Walsh, I'm really liking the trajectory he's on. He looks very confident. He's like, sure, he threw a massive cutout pass that got intercepted, but like, it's what trials are for. He's trying stuff. I would really like to see him come in for Luke Brooks. Obviously, he's a halfback, not a 5'8", but I just want this kid to get runs on the board because he's our future and I love to watch him. For Manly, there's really not that much to talk about. All our like defensive combinations are kind of shaken up with all the outs. That's not to say that we didn't defend like shit because we did, and that's kind of standard for Manly at the moment. All the talking points are really on the Rabbitohs here. Brandon Smith looked amazing, setting up Cody Walker, who also looked amazing. Latrell Mitchell, nice and involved. Even like Campbell Graham, who we kind of forgot about there for a while, probably still not picking him. But yeah, the Rabbitohs really look like some hot property this year.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
look,
Feeder as well. My God, how could I forget? He made us look like kids out there.
Yeah, so Walker was great. I had him in my team before this, and after I saw how he was running and stuff, I thought, yep, this is a win. Then and then I remembered about Macassini, and yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
I've traded Walker out despite how good he looked. I traded him out. I've put Jackson Purdy there, and I bought Macassini in, so I saved myself 200K. But Walker did look really good, and anybody who has him, you can absolutely hold on to that. I think he's good. Has guns all around him. He's getting the ball from Brandon Smith, or he's getting the ball from Cam Murray. So that try he scored on the line, Cam Murray was the link between Smith and then he just caught it and off the left foot, bam, straight through, untouched, like he's playing touch footy.
Yeah.
Walker, great. Fafita, he does look like he's in for a big year, absolutely. I'm fading on Mitchell. I don't think he really got involved enough for me.
Mm.
I'd like my centers to be more base guys. And I also just can't cheer for someone that goes out of the way to rub the other team the wrong way.
Oh,
You know what I
dude,
mean?
he was doing my fucking head in.
Yeah,
Holy
I
shit.
I just can't cheer for somebody like that, so I will never put him in my super coach team. It's just that simple for me.
Morals.
But I could see I could see why people want him. But yeah, he looks good. But I got to say the right side looked a lot better. They looked a lot more silky with the passing and stuff. The ball was actually getting all the way out to Campbell Graham and then even getting back into Whiten sometimes, Whereas on the left side, it kind of ended with whatever Cody Walker decided to do.
Yeah.
So, and then when Walker was off, I think it was the young fella who actually put the kick through for Latrell to score.
Yes.
Um, and then as soon as he scored, he checked out, and that's fine. He's a superstar. He doesn't need to play trials. But at the same time, like I just feel like that's his attitude. Like if they're ahead or if they're winning or something, then will check out, or he has a tendency to check out. So yeah, I don't know. I'm fading Mitchell, but that right side looks silky. I'm not going through on to any more bunnies other than Brandon Smith and Dave Fafita.
Something that just blew my mind with Fafita, that tackle bust line break he made where he just bowled over some poor bloke, I can't remember who it was, but the acceleration after that, he was just boom, straight into full pace. Like he's going to be
Yeah,
an absolute problem this year. Um,
absolutely.
with Latrell, I feel like I don't think he really needed to do much in this game.
Oh no.
So once we're in like an actual comp game, I feel like we're going to see a lot more involvement. But he is the guy in my team at the moment that I'm looking at thinking I could free up some money there. I'm not completely sold. And honestly, in the last few years, I think I could count on one hand how many times I've been like, shit, I wish I had Latrell. Like he's got a big ceiling, but it doesn't
Yeah.
happen that often.
Look, even though he's never going to be in my team, if I come up against him in head to head, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
So that tells you that there's definitely a gun super coach player there. So I'm not
yeah,
telling anybody else not to go for him. I just personally won't. I don't want to ride that roller coaster,
yeah,
or cheer for him,
yeah. God,
especially after that dirty try against the Broncos last year. I hate that.
look, I understand the there's like the physical battle and then there's the mental battle, and he knows how
Yeah,
to get people off their game. It's just when it's
he
against
loves.
your team, oh my god, it makes your
Yeah,
blood boil.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, bloody hell.
And he's
Um,
always against my team because
yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah, look, man, I just want to make a couple quick points on Manly. I'll be really fast here.
yep, go for it.
Leafi, he does
Yes,
look like a weapon and a workhorse. So, look, I'm excited to see what happens. And if he gets named as in the starting side or even off the bench at bottom dollar, I like him more than some other bottom dollar cheapies. I don't have him at the moment because of the way I've built my pack, but he will be relevant at some point. At some point, I think almost everybody will have him. Kohler and Joey Walsh are your only hope.
yeah.
Although I
We
admit
haven't
you
seen
do
Turbo
have
and Hamoli yet,
you didn't
so
you
we
didn't
got those
have a
two as
couple of
well.
your strike weapons. Yeah, yeah, you need those strike weapons back, but they're not going to get good. Like they're not going to be able to do much unless Kohler keeps doing his thing because he was really good. And yeah, Joey Walsh, man, I personally thought that Brooks and Fogarty weren't able to create anything. They
Mm,
played they played really good structured footy in a sense, but then when push came to shove, they weren't able to create anything. So
yes.
yeah, look, I'm a bit concerned about Manly. They are prepping for the spoon well.
Nah. Nah. Are we the only club to not have a spoon? I know we don't have one, but I suppose the Dolphins don't have one.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, if someone knows the answer to that, leave it in the comments for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, nah, we've never got one,
You're
and
getting
we
this.
never will. And we're
You're
gonna
getting
win
it
the
this
comp
year.
and put everyone to shame. We're gonna be last year's Raiders, except we're gonna go on with it in finals.
Nah, you're getting the spoon.
God, I hope not, man.
I love it.
I realistically am putting us around that sort of like 13th, 14th, which is it's spoon territory. Like that's a handful of games, and all of a sudden you're in the cutlery drawer. So fuck.
Everyone's going to be better than Manly this year.
Nah, not the Knights, not the Dragons.
Yeah, there will be.
I can't even.
Go. Let's get to the team list. Let's get to team list.
God damn it! Alrighty. Oh God, I'm gonna have to fix up the crop. But yeah, so Knights and Cowboys, only the 2 games to go over here, but there is a lot of relevancy. I guess we'll start off with the Knights. So obviously Ponga is in, Fletcher Sharp is in at 6. Nothing too surprising here. Sharp as a 5'8 option. If he was like 50k cheaper, I'd really like that. But just with, we're not really too sure how well the Knights attack is going to go. I think Fletcher Sharp could be a very good option in a month or two. He could bottom out and then we pick him up. And everyone kind of is looking for that 5'8 option that's going to show themselves as the season goes on. So definitely keep your eyes on him. We got Trey Mooney starting. Was it the Daily Telegraph put a post up? I saw Whisperer share it and I was like, no, that can't happen. And it didn't. So that's fine. Jermaine McEwen also starting. So a couple of those cheaper guys, a couple of those really high value guys that we've been looking at pretty much the whole year have made it in. The goal kicking sensation, Thomas Cant, has made it onto the bench. I think where you can avoid bench players and get people starting in, I think that's really smart to do because the likelihood of them sitting on the bench collecting dust is more likely with this new this new 6-man bench. But I would imagine that it's going to be Fletcher Hunt and Francis on the bench.
Rough. Sorry, mate.
Manu
He's a big fan, bro. He watches every week. Come on, show some.
Sorry, Franny. Feel free to leave a dislike on the video if you're watching. Franny.
My concern with Thomas Cant on the bench is the minutes for McEwen. So McEwen, for him to make good value, to be really good value, you need him to be playing like as many minutes as possible, potentially up to 80 because he has and he can and he's got good PPM. But at least 60. I'm just not too sure with Cant being there if McEwen is going to get the minutes that you want. But Trey Mooney's in my side for sure. Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. Ponga, I want to wait and watch and see. Same as Sharp. Yep, absolutely.
Obviously, Sandon Smith is dead and buried. He's 14. He just didn't really do enough to warrant making it even in at 9. So unfortunately, that's yet another 5'8 position that we can't go with. Yeah. So what that does mean though is that Kalen Pong is probably goal kicking.
Probably.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice
if we
saw what's his name? If we saw Thomas Cant come on and take over the goal kicking, because
yeah,
God,
he was good.
Great.
Honestly, if Cant gets a starting spot at any point this year, he'll probably goal kick and he'll be very, very relevant. But at the start of the season, it looks like I'm fading basically every night except Mooney. And I'm not super sold on Mooney, but part of me feels like he could be a season keeper. So that's why I've got him in there. I'm just banking on that a little bit. On the Cowboys side?
Just quickly on Mooney. If he is a little bit underwhelming to start the season, I think there might be a few people that jump off and then he'll be kind of like an Aaron Clark last year where at the couple of months later, you're like, damn, I really should have held on to him. So I wouldn't go making any
Yeah.
rash decisions on him because,
Yeah.
maybe he just needs to work his way into the structure of the team a little bit. I don't know exactly how to word that, but I think the longer the season goes on, the more minutes and the more points he will get. So I think I'll probably be
Yeah.
holding on to him for most of the year.
That's really good advice because that stung me with a couple of guys last year. So I'm going to try and remember that. And when Trey Mooney doesn't go off for the first few weeks,
Yes.
thanks, man. Yeah, Cowboys. Yeah, look, Scott Drinkwater, love it.
Yeah.
Serious VC option this first week. If you have got Scott Drinkwater, you definitely want that V on him, and you want a way to loop if you need to, but. Also, with the broken week, you can always work that out later if he pops off. So, yeah, just get him in. I personally think he's great. Tom Chester would have been nice to have a look at him, but maybe the Knights are thinking that too. So, no one, we haven't seen him play, so they haven't scouted him. Maybe he comes out and pops off. Maybe he comes out and ends up having to go off with a niggle or something. Not too sure. I'm definitely not looking to play Tom Chester, but he is in my side. There is a bit of
Me too.
concern about whether or not Labert will get the spot back when he gets back. But by all accounts, Chester was first in line in the first place, and
Yes.
is only one injury away from having a third game, even if Labert does take the spot back. So, yeah, look, with the dual position, I think that's the final variable that gets him in my side. If he didn't have dual, then maybe I'd find a different GB, but the dual is handy as well. So, yep, Tom Chester, he's named to start. Get him in. Reed Marnie, bit scary about the minutes with Sonny Luke on the bench.
Yes.
Was hoping Reed would play bigger minutes, so he might still play a lot, but yeah, like you don't put Sonny Luke at 14 unless you're going to use him at some point. So
Yeah. When it
not
comes
sure.
to dummy half, I pretty much can't suggest any combination other than Grant and Cheese.
Yeah, or Brayley and
Marnie,
Cheese would be fine.
yeah, Brayley's fine as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, Simpkin and Marnie both aren't quite the options we thought they were. There's definitely still value there. It's just a question of how much value. And I don't want to find out. I got burnt by Marnie last year. He went in my never again basket. He came out
yeah.
of it for the start of the preseason, but I've just plonked him back in there. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. I think the trick would be to try and upgrade, like try and time it so you can upgrade Brandon Smith to like a Reed Marnie or something if he has big minutes. If he proves to be playing bigger minutes, like as the season goes on, then maybe you can upgrade to somebody like him before Origin so that you have good cover for your Brayley or for your Grant, whichever one.
Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, there is a small chance that Brandon Smith just has an absolutely unreal year. I think he got like 48 Supercoach points on the weekend and he went off like a fair bit, but he also played like 40 minutes. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, look, Brandon Smith could be like a bit of a season hold, to be
Yeah.
honest, just as like a reliable, 40, 50, maybe 60 points if you have to play him in a pinch. So maybe it's a matter of, Grant, Smith, lock, load, don't touch your hooker position for the rest of the year.
It'd be nice because even if he's scoring like consistent 45s, like Harry Grant's priced at 60. So that's close enough for
Yeah.
your hooker second slot. I would love to not make a single trade up there for the year and then just have Cheese come in and cover for um, Harry Grant during the Origin period. Love it.
That's my plan. Yeah. Lukey is a strong watch for me though. I want to see how many minutes he's playing, and I think he's a bit of a super coach gun. I just want to see if they rotate him out or not. So
Yeah.
they've got a couple of back rowers on the bench, so it is interesting to see what they do there. But I'd say Sam McIntyre will be the one that comes off first, and they'll try and leave Lukey on for as long as possible. But
Yeah.
again, like 60 minutes or so, he's definitely a watch, but he's just a bit awkwardly priced to start the season. And I've already got Drinky and Chester and Purdue as well. So I've already got 3 Cowboys. But yeah, Jackson Purdue, I just touch on that. I personally am of the opinion that CTW is going to get buffed this year and it's going to be a little bit overpowered. And with him having the dual CTW and 5'8", it's an opportunity to stack an extra passing center in your team in the 5'8" position. So for me, ideally, at the end of the season, I'm probably going to have 5 gun CTWs playing every week, not including my bench spaces. So, and hopefully he's one of them. He definitely could pop off this year. And I think there's a lot of people in the SuperCoach world that are putting him straight in their team at 6, because he's playing center in real life, and that is where the points are made. So
That's it. And the fact that you can fill up a dud 5'8" position with him as well, it's just, that's such a blessing. Sure, the Cody Walker option is there as well. Obviously, everyone's going to have Jonah Pezzett, so there's only one more position to fill. But I'm not super confident on him. He could easily prove me wrong, but just the fragility of the guy, I don't see him getting through the full season unscathed. I don't see him being too relevant once he does peak in price after a few weeks, but yeah, it's a tricky one there. But yeah, can't argue with Purdue at 5'8". My latest rip apart and restructure of my team does include him at 5'8", and I have managed to get Drinky in at fullback as well. So yeah, all aboard the Cowboys.
yeah, nice, bro. So you're on the Drinky train and you're on the
Yes.
Purdue train with me. You've just stolen half my team.
Yeah,
Let's
you've
go. That's why
converted
we're
me.
here.
You've converted me.
Yeah. Now, everybody else listening at home, don't do it. Go with Cody
Yeah, yeah.
Walker.
Yeah, terrible options. Don't
Because
do it.
you'll make money and leave Purdue in the 6 as a pod for me.
Yes, exactly. And
That's the hardest
don't
thing
have
about
Payne
giving up.
Heist as well. Leave him for us, you know.
I genuinely don't know what to do there. Like I had Cody Walker in my team. My plan was to make some money and move him on and move Purdue into 6 if Purdue proved to be playing good. The problem with having Purdue at 6 and the strategy of having a center winger in your 5'8" all year is you're basically ruling out going up to a Munster or something like that. You know, you're kind of banking on Purdue to be better than all the 5'8s. So that's just, if that doesn't work out, then at some point you're going to have to get off and get onto a Munster or something. And if you've missed the opportunity to make money through Cody Walker, and potentially make some moves there, then there could be problematic. So I can totally get behind either strategy of running like a Cody Walker there, running a Jackson Purdue there. Maybe you've got both. Maybe you've got Walker in the 6, you've got Purdue in the centers, and you can sort of move him into the 6 once Cody's made money and peaked or something. If it's looking good, maybe you just ditch that whole strategy, put Munster or AJ in there, and go with somebody other than Purdue in the centre wing if you think they're going to be more reliable. There's plenty of good mid-range options in the CTW spot.
I have thought about what I'm going to do with Purdue when it comes to getting that 5'8" that emerges in. And it does require a little bit of luck. So say there's a second row or front row forward that comes along, is very cheap, is just a no-brainer downgrade option, month and a bit into the competition. If 1 week you use one trade to get rid of one of your cash cows up there, free up a bit of money, and then do the same thing with one of your center wing cash cows, like a Sedu 2 or the Titans guy's name's escaping me, one of them, then you can sell the winger, move Purdue down, and then with the money you've freed up top, then you could get yourself to a Munster or an Ethan Strange or something like that. That's a very particular situation for that to work, but I don't think it's that unlikely.
No.
But yeah, just that duel is so handy with that.
Yeah, the duel is handy. Yeah, I think for that reason, that's the duel is why he's going to be in most people's team, not because he's a gun center. He has the potential to be a gun center, but he's got the duel, and 5'8" is a bit of a dud spot. You're either maxing out or you got Cody Walker.
That's it. And I think that is the reason why a lot of people are picking him. And if he didn't have that duel, I think he would be under-owned. Because at center, he has a massive ceiling. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't argue with it. Bulldogs and Dragons. God, this is a really good 4 teams to get out of the way a week beforehand because there is so much to talk about. Or next week would have been like a 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
Kiraz and Montoya both named. Kiraz is obviously more relevant there. I don't know. Maybe I go Latrell up to Kiraz. I do need a bit of money to do that. Just a little bit worried with all this niggle chat in the preseason.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. I think though with the early buy, like if he comes out and goes crazy, you've got an extra week to get on to
Yeah.
Karaz. So for me, it's a bit of a watch, especially because I have Crichton in my team already.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's another option that's just like kind of starting to come into the conversation with the stat changes and everything.
Well,
Um,
there's a few things with Crichton. Yeah, the stat changes for one, he would get a bit of a buff, but then he's looks like he's going to be doing more goal kicking this year too, and he's moved over to the left side, the lethal left edge with kick out. So
yeah,
Crichton,
right.
yeah.
I hadn't looked into it that deeply. Yeah, maybe I go Latrell to Crichton and then I'm not missing out on the Bulldogs outside backs. That kind
You
of
want
seems like
to?
a bit of a no-brainer for me.
Do you want to just copy and paste my whole team
Yeah.
into your team, bro?
Have you got Blake Brayley in?
Nah, I got Harry Grant.
Oh, well, do you want to just copy my team? Nah. I thought you had Brayley.
I
You
did
know
have
what?
Brayley at the
I
start. That's
have
a good
a
call.
little bit of money left. Maybe I'll just go Brayley just so we've got like an actual point of difference there. And we've both got
I'm
Sam
sure our
Walker,
teams are
don't we?
different.
Oh god.
I'm trust, bro. The forwards, we're very different than the forwards. We got to
Yeah,
do another
true.
team reveal. We got to do another team reveal this week, I
Yes,
think.
yes.
We should do it on
That will
Friday or
be
something. And
next
yeah,
upload, probably before kickoff. Um,
yep,
so maybe we'll aim for a Friday for that one, I reckon.
yep.
Lovely. What else have we got here? Galvin at 7, Burton at 6. I think the outside back's the main conversation there is just in Kiraz and Stephen Crichton. Bailey Haywood, I just can't recommend it. He's just going to be shoveling the ball off the deck and doing not much else.
Mm-hmm.
Can't recommend it. Yeah, I think the Bulldogs is probably one of the less relevant teams in a Supercoach sense here. There's still a few guys there, but, there's not as much to talk about as the Dragons. Do you have anything else for the Bulldogs?
Well, I just want to mention that they probably have the strongest second row out of any team in the comp. And I wouldn't be surprised if they both see a little bit of a buff this season, but not enough value to get on unless they're your 2RF1 that you plan on holding all year. And then I could actually get behind either Kickout or Preston. Also, Tupanua is a must watch for this season because if he gets an increase in minutes, or say somebody else goes down in the front row and he is insane. So yeah, Satili Tupanua, definitely keep an eye on him throughout the season. But yeah, otherwise I think it's probably Kiraz, Crichton. Galvin's a bit of a pod play at 7, but there is a lot of options there that are quite good, and I'm just not sold on
Yeah.
Galvin. I think he'll do better than everyone thinks, but I don't think it'll convert to super coach like a JC or a Hines.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get
or
him
even
at 6.
yeah, and that's another thing too. Like the Dylan Brown got named at 7, so he's not getting the duel.
Yes.
Galvin got named at 7, so he's not getting the duel. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. Actually, all of the 7s of Vegas are actually 6s.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So yeah, that's a bit of a weird one. But yeah, they all just got moved into the halfback position, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Bulldogs, though. If Sean O'Sullivan looks like he learned a lot when he was at the Dolphins, especially about ball playing. So if somebody goes down in the halves there and Sean O'Sullivan gets a run, he could be very relevant for a bit of a cheapy cash grab at some point throughout the year. But that's only on an injury. But that's just something to look out for. Dragons, what do you got? There's a few names in here. Setu too. Let's go. Put him in the team.
God, yeah. I
Lock
think
him in.
he is one of the genuine must-haves. There's
Yep.
not a crazy amount this year. Probably Makasini, Setu 2, David Fafita.
Yep.
Keanu Kinney. Honestly, I reckon
Yep.
Keanu Kinney probably comes in 4th on that list.
I'd put him over 2, but yeah.
Yeah, just like these guys are there's really not much to say. He's an experienced player. He's not like I think I'm talking about the right guy. He's not just that like a fresh guy who's just kind of broken out. I'm pretty sure he's played a lot of reserve grade. So yeah, no reason to not get him in. Val Holmes named to play. Apparently, there's a little bit of concern around his shoulder. But, you know, he's named to play, so he's probably fine. Maybe a bit of a re-injury risk there. But again, the centre buffs, he's going to be goal kicking. Maybe he's another one I look at for replacing Latrell with.
Guess what else happened with him? Side switch, same as Crichton. But from the left, he's going over to the right. I personally think it's probably a defensive thing. He needs to be there to lock down that edge with Setu too.
Yeah, right.
And Sully and Tuipulotu are more experienced in the NRL level, so they'll lock down the left edge. So I think he's going over there to help out the rookie, but that only means more good ball for Setu too. So yeah, look, Holmes is probably a target gun CTW for some point in the year.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to have a look first. I'm not sure the Dragons are going to be great, and there's a few others that I've got my eyes on, like Iro and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, but Holmes is definitely a good option. I could get behind anybody having Holmes in their team for sure.
I am having a mental blank. Whose spot has Setu 2 taken? Because at the start of the year, the conversation was whether he gets a spot over Chewy Pilotu.
So
Am I tripping?
Sloan,
that's the one.
Sloan.
Gotcha.
Who else did they have? They had another guy there actually as well.
Yes,
I forget.
I think he's in the...
He might be in the reserves still. Scroll down.
No, he's not there.
Yeah,
what was his name?
I can't remember.
He was 230 something K. What's his bloody name? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Farley. Are you talking about Farley? The other guy?
Yes, Farley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he is there. Number 19.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even remember why I asked that.
Well,
my brain is turning
one
to mush.
Spot. Lock and load. Valentine Holmes, good option. Damien Cook, good option, but I think Little is coming back faster than you want if you really want to get a price increase from Damien Cook. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but I do suspect he's going to play pretty big minutes for the first couple of weeks at least. Luciano Leilua.
Yeah.
This guy looked really good, I got to say, in the trials. I actually put him in and out of my team several times over the weekend, just messing around. I've decided to go a bit cheaper. I didn't want to get one of those I think he's about 420, sort of similar price to Lukey. So I've just sort of avoided that sort of 400K price point with my benchies. But geez, if he's playing 70 or 80 minutes, he's a super coach prospect.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely one to watch. I know.
Sure.
I think it's Whisperer on Insight is foaming over the mouth over Luciani Leilua. So yeah, like there's a lot of love for him in Supercoach scene, but I thought about it, but I just want to see what the minutes are like.
Yeah, 100%. A guy that was in my team a little bit ago, since removed because I'm just trying to avoid those risky bench players. Ryan Couchman, I think he is going to come into relevancy. He's an absolute gun. But yeah, the forward rotation at the Dragons is going to require some note taking, I think, because there's a lot happening there.
And I'm with you with those benchies. There's enough value starters in the second row position that you don't need any of your bench spots to be taken up by players that aren't in the starting 13. You know, so if realistically, especially if you've got say like a Cooper Bye and a Ryan Couchman on your bench, you got two guys that aren't even getting off the pine for the first 20 minutes of the game at least, you know. So realistically, you could have guys that are already accumulating super coach points and going up in value or something. So I'd be looking to make sure that you had as many starters as possible in that spot. And maybe it would be okay if you had one, like if you had a Couchman, Ryan Couchman that is, or a Cooper Bye, like if you had one of these benchies in there, I'd be okay with it. But I personally am trying to make sure that all of my players are starting.
Yeah, 100%. If say for instance the Dragons absolutely blow the Bulldogs off the park in this game, they might not need to use all their interchanges anyway. So yeah, it just removes the risk of them getting a 0. Not that that's going to affect their price or anything, and you're likely not going to be playing them anyway, but you still want your guys to be going up in money. So
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of nuffs, especially early in the season. Like maybe I toyed with it for a moment so that I had a VC loop option, but as soon as I put Maccassini in, I was like, get rid of my nuffs. I want
yeah,
everybody in my team to either be scoring me big points or making me money.
yeah.
That's your job. You're either scoring points or making money.
My nuff is Laiafi, so that if he's not a complete nuff, if he happens to jag a bench spot, cool, he's going to make money. If he doesn't, cool, he's probably going to become relevant later in the year. But either way, he's a bottom dollar guy that I can just slot in, and he's a manly boy, and I love him. So
Yeah. My front row forward 4 right now is Tom Flegler. So the cheapest front row I've got is 346, and the cheapest second row I've got is Josh Patton at 275.
yeah,
So if I found out Laiafi was starting, then sure, I could make way for him because he's going to get that price rise. But at the moment, everybody in my team should be starting and playing big minutes. So and that's what I think that really matters, to consistent high scoring to start off the season. And you only trade out guys if they peak in value or if they get an injury or something.
Beauty, I think we can probably wrap it up there. We've been going for about an hour, and it's like it just goes to show how dense these four. I'd say three, probably Dragons, and then the Knights and Cowboys. There's just a lot of relevance in these teams.
Yep.
Really, someone submitted a question to Insight that I was listening to today that made a really important point. If you have any of these Vegas guys playing, and you're planning on playing them or reserving them, have them in your starting team, not your purple highlighted reserve. Having them as your reserve and then they play and they get locked out, that can really make it tricky for you if teams lists next week throw us some curveballs. The best way to give yourself flexibility is just to put them in your starting squad and go with it like that. Yeah, just thought I'd better throw that in there and hopefully save at least one person from having that happen to them, because it's happened to me before and it sucks. It really sucks. Cool.
Good
Yeah.
tip. Join the group league.
Yes. Don't forget to join the group league. Code 899247. And don't forget to leave your tips for these two games down in the comments.
Who you got? You got Knights or Cowboys?
I definitely don't have the Knights. Cowboys, Bulldogs, comfortably.
Cowboys 13 plus. Bulldogs. Bulldogs 1 to 12.
Yeah, Cowboys. I reckon they could both go 13 plus.
Could.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in both of them 13 plus. I think.
Team reveal coming soon this weekend.
Yeah,
check out that video as well.
Have that out Friday night or Saturday morning or whatever. You'll see it happen. Ring the bell. YouTubers say shit like that, don't they? Ring the little bell.
Are you saying turn your notifications to all?
Yes.
I think that's what he means, folks.
Yes. Hit the bell, smash like, follow on Patreon and Google Plus, and add me on Facebook, and yeah.
The most important thing though is to join the group league. The prize pool is at $782, and that will continue to go up. Get your comments in the YouTube, and we'll put the bets on for you so that prize pool keeps growing, up by $19 this week. Good punters.
Yeah,
keep it up.
Smashed it last week. Also, one more thing to mention. I went through and deleted about 40 teams from the group league. One team per person. It's really obvious when it's not. At the end of the year, I have come up with my own verification method where I'll be able to tell if you've had more than one submission. So just don't. Save me the headache. Save you the disappointment of not winning the money. Just one team, please.
Get your mates in, but.
Yeah. Easy as. And you know what?
Get new people on SuperCoach. Get your girlfriend to join SuperCoach. Get your housemate to join SuperCoach. Get them in the group league.
Get your dad in on it.
You can help them with their teams. Maybe one of them wins.
And then you could get a cut if you help them. Yeah.
That's right.
All right. I think we've rambled long enough. Let's call it there. Thank you for watching, everyone. Appreciate it. Push all the buttons and shit down there. That's good for the algorithm. And we'll see you for the team reveals on Friday.